You're listening to iCannabisRadio.com.
It's the John Doe Radio Show.
It's crazy because the breakdown working at the same time. Are we recording? Oh, cool. All right. Yo, can you? All right. They say that if it works, don't fix it. Go against the law, might get a bit risky. No offense to y'all, but I feel a bit gifted. So I think my odds are about 50-50. Crispy. Okay, corral, we about to put it down. Take 10 and turn around, go and pull your pistols out. But what is this about? All these grenades and handguns. Magnus for Magnus, a strong set of hands, son. Tall, dark, handsome, holding y'all for ransom. Strong arm Lance, so scared that he can't run. Cause when a man comes face to face with his fear, he gets weird. He can't hear, he can't see things clear. I be sincere, yes dear, guest here. Press gear, dress queer, fresh in my neck beard. Next year, net year, jet leer, get near. Top tier, drop tears, no way, not here. Cause there's no crying in baseball, and that's that. There'll always be a case called when Ash rap. Bars will take your face off, no cat scratch. Go ahead, ask wreck, racks on racks. Yeah, neck, for a pat on the back after I black tackle and straddle a cap without impacting my breath. Climb the ladder, success, skipping and missing a step. New addition to spitting, you should've listened to Flex. It's like, I try to tell them, but they don't know. I try to tell them, but they don't know. I try to tell them, but they don't know. Oh, no. I try to tell them, but they don't know. I try to tell them, but they don't know. I try to tell them, but they don't know. Oh, no. Slick dickies, no one can stick with me. Spit it out quick as soon as the shit hits me. Kill swiftly, bit ill and stick stickly. Double dip dips, I dibble and bust quickies. Nifty little shit, I do it while dressed thrifty. Pricks just stiff, my stick is so shifty. Sick, Fred McGriff with the hits coming lefty. Used to be for free, now the seat's never empty. It's elementary, yeah I heard it in assembly. Principal was telling me I better go ahead and read. Never be a better me, better off, better me. Not really a better, but I'm betting that I better be better with the rhetoric. Set it up and let it rip, I better forget it man, kid's a fucking lunatic. Looney Tune, lunar eclipse. Every blue moon might see a few shooting strips. I try to tell them but they don't know. I try to tell them but they don't know. I try to tell them but they don't know. Oh, no. I try to tell them but they don't know. I try to tell them but they don't know. I try to tell them but they don't know. Oh, no.
I know you don't smoke weed. I know this. But I'm gonna get you high today. Cause it's Friday, you ain't got no job, and you ain't got shit to do.
How much higher can you get?
The human brain is made for thinking, not pubic experience. It's hardly a tinker toy for experimenting. It's not pubic with drugs.
Why do we talk about marijuana? It's the single biggest drug that is a source of some confusion.
This is really about educating the public about the fact that marijuana is a less harmful drug.
Marijuana, that's to get high.
You can be as high as you want.
The prohibition of marijuana over the last 71 years has not actually prevented you from using marijuana.
You feel weak.
Close to winning the war.
I do believe there have been some successes.
We will never arrest our way out of this problem.
Welcome to the John Doe Radio Show. I'm your host, John Doe. We're here hanging out at Hood Labs still today. I've got my co-host Mike here.
Trusty co-host.
Wow, you're way louder than me. Hold on.
Please stand back a little bit if you need me to. Go lower, though.
God, shut up. I already said shut up within 5 seconds. How you doing today?
Uberly fantastic. I'm still real loud, but I'm great. I'm fine with being loud.
Just deal with it.
At some point.
What are you doing, Hunt?
It's Hunt checking in.
Walking around trying to find all my shit.
I don't have you on.
Worse and worse as the week goes on because I'm in the middle of the trenches.
I forgot the podcast came in here and did their thing yesterday.
Yes, they did.
So everything was a little bit strange. All right, today, obviously a fantastic day in the cannabis community.
I woke up with this song in my head today, by the way.
It's fantastic. Thank you for interrupting me.
No problem.
Today, 419 in Cannabisville. I'm slightly hoarse with my voice. I mean, it doesn't sound like that, but I can't exactly push my voice out a ton. The cold weather and the smoking and the radio and everything else just, it's like busted my voice up. Laugh. I make any sort of like ha-haing. Ha-ha-ha. It's like, see? Oh, man. I ought to blow out my voice is what's going to happen
Don't
here.
do that. You still got to broadcast this weekend.
Yeah, we will be live from the Cannabis Cup starting tomorrow. High Times Cannabis Cup taking place here in the great Mile High city of Denver, Colorado. If you would like to come and hang out with us, yeah, come and join us anytime, Mitch. Mitch from Incredible Industries here today, setting up for their extravaganza, the 420 extravaganza. We're going to be broadcasting from the Cannabis Cup starting tomorrow. Come and check us out when the Cannabis Cup opens. iCannabisRadio.com. All the great hosts over at iCannabis Radio going to be doing shows from the Cannabis Cup, grabbing awesome guests and interviewing them, talking to them about the Cannabis Cup experience and all that jazz that goes along with it. Big thanks to everybody that makes it possible for us to broadcast from here at Hood Lab and broadcast from the Cannabis Cup. Make sure you check out our sponsors. Support everybody that broadcasts from here at iCannabis Radio. Big thanks to Element 420, who, big shout out to them. Hopefully they bring home a Cannabis Cup to the Evo Labs.
Or 6.
6 entries in the Cannabis Cup.
They actually have 12 entries.
12 entries?
I hope they would win 6.
Yeah, that's right. Because there's, the categories. The categories in cheese.
Big Buddha Seeds along with Evo Lab. I actually just driving here today, I drove by what I'm guessing is going to be the medical area, the outside of the cup, all the tents. I could see the Big Buddha Pagoda being set up. It's huge.
Big Buddha Seeds will be here today. Mitch from Incredible will be here today. A big thanks to Element 420. Element, FOUR20.com. Element, FOUR20.com. Our friends over there, fantastic. CO2 extract. Go and check them out. And their booth at the Cup, too.
They have more of a pagoda than a booth. It's very Buddha-ish looking.
It's still a booth.
Yeah, they have a booth.
It's still a booth.
They do have a booth.
Oh, I know why these headphones die now.
Whatever you just did, you turned down the volume of my headphones and it sounds just like home now.
I know. That's because it's draining out the headphones. Here, which ones? We can pull out that.
No, it's great. Fine with me.
So today, fantastic day in the cannabis community. Why am I talking like this? Because
Do it though.
I'm tired
Keep
as
going
heck.
with it.
It is completely.
You didn't leave it until 2 a.m.
An
You said?
exhausting week here in Denver. Yeah, I was here till like 2 o'clock last night, hanging with everybody, and till everything kind of shut down. And we left. So hold on. Oh, there we go.
There you go.
All right, I had to get that in there. That's what she said.
So you're here till 2 a.m.
That's better. I didn't have my inner headphones going on. I had to put my inner headphones. So, Adam done making fun of me.
Never. I would never do that.
Mitch from Incredible. Feel free to join us anytime, my friend. It's just craziness, pandemonium around here at Cannaval, which is free, by the way, until 3 o'clock.
Short day.
It's a short day because Cannaval is going to be happening until about noon till 3. And if you'd like to make it down, 3354 Larimer is the street that you can come down and hang out at.
The sun is out.
We'll be over at, like I said, the High Times
snow
Cannabis
is melting.
Cup. Yeah, the snow is pretty much all completely melted. It's a warm, awesome day. Fantastic times.
What'd you smoke on last night? I saw there was a rather elite group of people here who grow some pretty good weed. You smoke anything fun?
Not necessarily, no. I just smoked a bunch of Earl. It wasn't nothing really too crazy specific.
Yeah, you're just dabbing.
Yeah, just dabbing out like a mofo.
Basically, whatever someone put in front of you, just smoke it.
Yeah,
I hear
pretty
you.
much,
One of
for the
those
most
nights.
part. Now you're being all quiet.
I'm just seeing what you're building up to. I get accused of interrupting already, so I'm all gun shy of saying anything because if I say something, I might be interrupting.
You're fine.
Thanks. Just keep going. I'll interrupt us.
I wonder if those guys toke.
Well, they're here at Cannaval.
I wonder if they toke though.
What makes you? What's special about them?
Do you think those guys toke, Mitch?
Yeah, definitely, dude. I have one of my brother's closest. Can I get a mic for this?
Yeah, right there.
Oh, all right, cool. I mean, I don't want you to make like a stereotypical perception of those guys. One of my brother's closest friends, first grower, the first person who showed me curing nug in New Jersey. This dude, he didn't know what the fuck he was doing, but he kept his bud in a jar, and he's like, yeah, I open and close it every day, and it dries it out and makes it smell better, and it makes more crystals on it. And I don't know where he heard about it, but yeah, that guy is actually like an Orthodox Jew, and he runs a kosher food truck, and what he does for a living is goes around and certifies things as kosher. But yeah, no, those guys definitely blaze. Weed is definitely very kosher.
Weed is kosher.
Highly. Like, I went to Jewish
Highly
school for
kosher.
like 12 years, dude. Like, I know this shit cold, and I'm telling you, weed is definitely highly kosher.
You heard it here from Mitch.
I was going to ask them, does it have to be blessed by a rabbi to make it kosher? Like food.
I don't know. I'm having fun with this camera, though. iCannabisRadio.com.
Look at that thing moving.
I got a robot camera. Let's see if it goes all the way over. Oh, yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. The robot cam. So I'm completely distracted today because, I am kind of a little bit tired, and it is 4:19. It's going to be just... I'm overwhelmed by the idea of how many people actually are going to be around this city, are going to be around the Hood Lab, are going to be over at the High Times Cannabis Cup. I'm not kidding you when I say this High Times Cannabis Cup event is like it is festival level event. I mean, you look over there across the street, and the whole lot across the street has tents just lined up. It's a whole city block, and not to mention the whole city blocks that are going to be shut off, and vendors are going to be setting up on the actual street. I mean, this thing is going to be absolutely insane. It's going to be the coolest cannabis event, the most free cannabis event, as long as the police. I mean, it's planning to be, shaping up to be the freest cannabis event ever in the United States. It obviously was going to be, but I mean, I don't think anybody has a true idea of really the massivity of it.
I guess it's a good word. I get stuck in a little bit of traffic getting down here.
It's gonna be
outside the cup.
It's setup day over at the Cup. There are all the vendors that have started to line up and roll into the Cup and their booths. I'm gonna go over there here after we finish the John Doe Radio Show today. I'm gonna set up the iCannabis Radio studio, and then we're gonna have everything there. And then I'm gonna go wander around looking for free swag for me and for the awesome listeners.
Swag.
I don't care what you say, it's swag.
What's up with the JDR shirts?
Oh yeah, that is true. We do have John Doe Radio shirts. They are going to be available at the Cannabis Cup.
They're available right now.
Yeah, they are available right now. This is the brown one. It's pretty cool, huh? For $10, $12 here at the Cannaval, because we're working not only for the John Doe Radio Show here, but we're giving back into the community. It's a Cannaval vibe.
There's a lot of people here today compared to the rest of the week.
Everybody's excited today. Everybody's getting set up.
A lot of
Everybody's
people in the other room.
There are a lot of people getting ready in the other room. I only have a camera angle visible on the front right here. To the right, there are people where the dank booth is, and then in the other room, in the green room, there are a ton of people just sitting down, dabbing, smoking up, having a good time, talking about how everything's just going to be absolutely nuts. So it's pretty good times. How's the broadcast today? Is anybody talking about?
Everyone's saying it's skipping.
It's skipping.
Yeah.
I think the bandwidth here is just horrible. You can check us out if you'd like to listen to us afterwards. If it's skipping for you live, make sure you go and check us out over at iCannabisRadio.com. We got recorded shows.
You can see
and you can check us out at JohnDoeRadio.com, where you can subscribe to the audio link anytime we have a show uploaded. It'll download automatically for you. iTunes, the John Doe Radio Show on iTunes. That's good times too.
We're hearing that from a couple of friends there, Jim and Matt, in the chat room, that it's skipping. And Matt's saying you're a little butangry today.
I'm fine. I'm just
Is
tired.
this because you get tired? Is that what it is? How about you eat Snickers there for a
You
minute?
piss me off if you call me out on it.
Do I?
I'm feeling a little edgy because I'm tired.
Your feet are dancing like you're trying to put step on ants.
Today on the John Doe Radio Show, like we said, Big Buddha Seed's going to be on the show. We're also going to be chilling with Incredible Industries. Fantastic greens being passed around. Maybe we'll... I know Mike will probably go take a hit or two. I know I'll probably go take a hit at some point in time here today. I encourage you guys to celebrate today by going and enjoying your favorite greens. Going and enjoying your favorite extracts. I feel like Mr. Rogers today is what I feel like. The calm, relaxed, chilled Mr. Rogers.
You don't look like him.
I don't care if I look like him.
He has always had a zip up. You have a pullover.
I always like that picture of Mr. Rogers on the internet where he's flipping off the camera.
Yep. Can't help but flip
A
off
left-handed
the camera.
flip off.
It's weird.
Hey, yo.
Take two, they're small.
Just because I do it doesn't mean you could do it. That's all right.
I think you can.
Hunt can do whatever he wants. He could do whatever the hell he wants.
I'm going to chug this Red Bull just because maybe that'll just wake you up a little bit too.
I'm fine. I'm fantastic.
Your voice cracked a little there.
I don't care. It's because I told you my voice is just jacked.
You want to have a beard growing contest?
We do a show Monday through Friday.
No.
I would whip your ass.
I know, but
we do a show Monday through Friday.
if I was trying, I might be able to get it to grow faster. I've never tried.
Dude, I'm energy. Just tap into it. It's Friday. We're relaxed. We're chilled.
Here we go.
We're calling out things that are just non-paid attention to. Have yourself a cannabis.
That's what a color commentator does.
Have yourself a cannabis energy drink.
A very alert, astute, aware person pointing out the little things that you might not be able to point out while you're covering the big things.
Go get yourself a cannabis energy drink.
I'm okay. I got a cancer energy drink going here. My Red Bull.
Dude, the Red Bulls are... the cannabis energy drink are way better than the Red Bulls.
Give me one, please.
They're out there. Go get them. They're
I'm
outside.
right here, and so is my Red Bull.
God, you're such a pain in the ass. Craziness going on today in the news. We won't talk about too much of that nutsness going on in Boston with the situation there, because it's just horrible, man. It's crazy that 1-2 people can shut down a whole city, cause so much havoc, build a bomb. But actually, one thing I will say about this whole situation in Boston, it does really, really, really point out, I think, the glaring, obvious fact that we're really not attacked and not hated as much as we probably would say we are. You know, we're not. If we were hated as much as we were, if people wanted to attack us as much as they do, this kind of stuff would be constantly happening. And I think it goes to say, one, that people are vigilant, that we do have good people that are out there that are foiling attacks, and two, I mean, if someone really wants to attack you, they're gonna attack you, and they're gonna get you. Think of how many people are on this world. Think of how many shitty people are in this world. I mean, it's honestly mind-blowing to me, and I'm not trying to say that, I wish this at all, but, as far as the big deal that the government has made about terrorism and, people hating us, you would think that it would happen more often.
Maybe it's going to be.
I hope it doesn't. I think that goes to say something that, maybe we just need to have a little bit of faith in humanity.
I do.
Maybe that's something that we should do. Hey, there's Elle. Maybe Elle will come join us on the show. Elle?
Nope.
From Native Roots 2. Is that where she's working at now?
I lost track.
That's so messed up. You should save that if she comes on. You should definitely save that for if she comes on the show. Ganja John is in town too. Ganja John from 420radio.org, and also many of you, if you don't know him from 420radio.org, you know him. He used to be with the Normal Show Live, which is a great informative show. Rush's show is still fantastic, great informative show. If you're looking for facts, other fantastic ammunition to get the other side with.
Bang.
Verbal ammunition.
Yeah.
Not bang bang ammunition.
No, hey, listen. Bang bang ammunition can hurt harder than verbal can hurt harder than bang bang. And I just said bang bang.
Politically correct at this very sensitive time right now.
Well, you can be non-politically correct and not offensive at the same time as well.
What do you have for this weekend as far as greens or smokish? What do you get? What are your plans here from here on out? What are your plans? By the way, big thanks to Warren Edson, Mayton, and Matts. Before we start talking about our plans,
huge thanks to
that
Warren
are going
Edson.
on, because hopefully he doesn't need a call from me this weekend. His one advice to me all the time, really, I mean, he's always talking to me and giving me good tips and other stuff. But his one advice to me all the time is don't get arrested. That's really the only thing.
All you gotta do is don't drink.
Don't.
And you won't get arrested.
That's not, dude.
You ever been arrested sober?
Yes. Stupid. Dude, I have the only time I wasn't arrested in a run-in with police was when I was drunk. So that doesn't say a whole lot. So his tip to me is don't get arrested. So hopefully he doesn't need a call this weekend.
Yeah, please don't.
WarrenEdson.com. Make sure you check it out. Medical marijuana. Why are you flipping everybody off?
I wasn't. I was just flipping off the guy who walked out the door because I don't like him. I haven't seen him in a long time.
Get over it.
I'm over it. That's all I
needed to do.
Get
over your childish.
That's all I needed to do.
Behavior.
That's all I needed to do. Feel much better. The Red Bull's kicking in.
It's a Friday. I'm completely worn out and tired. Criminal defense and medical marijuana consultation, and I'm sure, well, not just medical marijuana consultation, cannabis consultation, period.
Criminal defense.
And criminal defense. WarrenEdson.com. Check it out. And also...
if you want to know any scores in ML soccer, you can probably ask Warren, too.
Big thanks to Compassionate Pain Management, CompassionatePM.com. CompassionatePM.com. The guys over at Compassionate Pain Management, fantastic people. They've got a fantastic holistic wellness center. A great shop to go to. Been longtime friends of the John Doe Radio Show. We can't thank them enough for being longtime friends of the John Doe Radio Show. And there goes the door. The door.
We're opening here in 33 minutes. So, I don't know. Let me ask you what I'm going to be doing this weekend.
No, what are you going to be doing this weekend? You didn't explain to me.
Well,
I asked you first.
You do some spots there, but
I already told you I'm going to be setting up doing a ton of crap. What do you want to do? What are you doing this weekend?
This weekend or today?
Today, this weekend.
All right. Well, today I'm leaving here, and I got to do a couple things till I'm free at about 4:30. Going to plan on being back around this way, possibly around 5. Are you gonna be here tonight?
I'll probably be here tonight.
I've never seen Raekwon, so maybe let's see if I can.
You're not gonna enjoy it. You're gonna be here for like 5 minutes and take off.
No, I won't. I definitely. We have to. Like I said, the kids are gone for the weekend. Melanie and I have plans to hang out and be social and smoke weed.
Whatever.
Probably not a good time to tell you need to trim your nose hair, huh?
No.
Okay.
I'm going to turn off your mic if you keep picking at shit.
That's the worst thing in the world,
Smart
everyone
ass.
says. I am a smart ass. If I didn't pick on you, it means
No,
I don't
there's
like
cer-
you.
there's-
If I'm
there's-
yelling at you
okay,
and flipping
go
you,
for other
flipping you
things.
off,
Go for other things.
like what?
Go for, I don't know. You drive me fucking
You just-
nuts, dude.
You don't tell me what the alternatives are.
Well, talk about weed. How about that? And not nose hairs, farts.
I didn't
any of
say
that other
anything about farts.
shiz. What else are you going to be doing?
I'm going to be at the Cannabis Cup all weekend. I'm going to
Doing
be
what?
socializing, collecting seeds, bumping into a bunch of people who I've never met before for the first time, which I'm pretty psyched about. Yeah, we're going to be doing the JDR both days. I forget what times. What time
I'm
tomorrow?
not exactly sure what time.
I used
I'm
to
going to be
know.
there the whole damn time. You're
Right.
the one that has no times to
No.
be around.
No, I actually have like I just said, I have the whole weekend to commit to it.
No, you can check out iCannabisRadio.com, and we'll be pretty much streaming probably most of the cup. iCannabis Radio will. Go ahead, dude. Finish.
We'll be then I'll be at the Cup on Sunday. I think Sunday we're doing. I just had the schedule in my head, but then I'll be there all the way through the award ceremony, and
We're going to be trying to broadcast the awards. I say trying because barring any craziness, we should be able to bring you the award ceremony from the Cannabis Cup taking place and announce to you all the awesome winners, which I'm pretty sure that this Cannabis Cup round is going to be huge. A huge start, I should say, to the future and the rest of the Cannabis Cups and the rest of these events that go on.
I would think
and take place.
I would think all the entries would be judged by this point, wouldn't you hope? I wonder what they got to be turned
who
in
knows?
by.
I don't know when the entries have to be turned in by. I just know that like this event is probably going to set a standard for quite a massive event in the future. And the High Times Cannabis Cup is going to be probably something pretty heavy for everybody to come and hang out at. Pretty sweet little event going on here in Colorado, at least until other states start to legalize. Washington, they'll probably at some point have some sort of recreational cup here soon. I'm sure High Times would be smart to do that. I'm here knowing their business plan. I'm sure
They had
that's
the Seattle Cup.
I'm sure that's something what they have planned in the future. I'm talking about a recreational cup. I'm sure that they'll implement that in their next Cannabis Cup that takes place in Seattle. That'll be one of these awesome places. But yeah, tonight at Hood Lab, DJ Premier and Raekwon are gonna be here. Raekwon performing, from what it says here, is Built for Cuban Links live.
What is that one? Is it one of his albums?
Yeah, one of his albums. Hosted by Burnt MD. Are you gonna eat there?
Nope, going in my pocket.
All right.
It's
I was gonna meet you. Hosted by Burnt MD, DJ Premier and Raekwon. That's tonight. We'll be hanging out, chilling. You want to get on the air here?
Yeah, I can do this real quick too.
Awesome. Mitch from Incredible is going to hang out with us here for a minute.
On this one?
On air. Yep, you can get on that one.
Cool. Hey, everybody.
How's it going, Mitch?
How's it going, Tim?
How's everything doing for you, dude? I'm doing fantastic.
I mean, obviously,
I'm a little bit tired today, worn out.
I have my energy now. I've been, as you may have seen on Facebook, we've been doing our push-ups, our dabs, and push-up regimen with protein shakes. So everybody at Incredible is like pretty hardcore right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, dude. We're like,
guys are in shape like a
well,
mofo.
it's just we're ready to do this. Well, first of all, I don't know if you remember 420 like 2 years ago or last year. In Denver, there was like a stampede that Kyle had to like grab this baby, save this baby, and we had to hold back this crowd. So push-ups seemed like the best muscles
Really?
to strengthen. Yeah, dude. At Civic Center Park, there was like a stampede of people. I had a propane torch and I like used it to fend off the crowd while Kyle grabbed the baby. But obviously, I didn't want to burn people, so I put that away quickly and just like rescued the baby.
Damn, dude.
But yeah, so the pushing, there's 16,000 people, bro. That space does not hold that many people, I can tell you.
But see, there's a big ass lot there. Did you
I know.
look across the street with all that?
I did. Did you measure the square footage of it? Because I did that 2 weeks
That's
ago.
that's 16,000 over 2 days, 8,000 a day.
Theoretically.
But see, and then the streets are open. And then the streets opened.
The street is open too. I'm just saying it's going to be tight.
It may be a pain in the ass. No, I agree with you. It's going to be tight as heck. That's
It's
what we
gonna
were
be-
talking
well-
about earlier, how crazy it's going to be and how nuts and precedent setting this event probably will be.
me-
Tonight is going to be crazy. Your event.
Well, that's honestly like I couldn't be more proud of it. And
Gonna be fucking nuts.
dude, last year's Extravaganza was a big deal. There's no doubt. A big festival. We had 30 artists, 3 stages, whatever. This year's Extravaganza, we were like, we need to show the rest of the country how we do Colorado weed parties. So, of course, there's no other place to do it but the Hood Lab.
No way. No other place.
And DJ Premier, Raekwon. I mean, come on. This is what I grew up to. I have to imagine a lot of us grew up with the same tunes in our ears.
Yeah. Raekwon, definitely. I listened to Wu-Tang Clan, man. It was like some of the first hip-hop that I listened to.
Dude, no doubt. I still remember. It's the 20th anniversary this year of
I saw
36 Chambers.
I saw Wu-Tang Clan on YouTube at the Coachella Festival this past weekend. Or this past week.
They played Coachella?
Yeah, they played Coachella.
Huh.
Yeah, and then it was on YouTube.
How'd they do? How
It
was
was
Raekwon?
it was all right. It was good. I mean, it was old school hip hop. There's only a few hip hop groups that are just absolutely incredible when they perform, and then I think the more people you add to a mix on stage, the less great it is.
The energy goes up, but the focus goes way down. Is what it is.
Yeah. So the performance is like not the greatest, but the energy is just bam.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's gonna be just Raekwon with probably a few friends. DJ Premier. It's gonna be badass, dude.
Dude, it's gonna be truly
the party,
legendary.
Huge party atmosphere.
And I can't I honestly, I woke up yesterday morning. I was in the shower, and I was like, "Oh my god, Raekwon's tomorrow!" And not even like my show's tomorrow or 420's in 2 days, but like I'm gonna be hanging out in Hood Lab with Raekwon in 2 days. What the fuck? Oh my god!
I know, that's what I've been saying to myself for this past week. I've been like, damn, 420's coming up. It's already 420. Holy crap. I'm freaking out, dude.
It's here. And so, to go back to in addition to it being cramped over there, we got a lot of first-time dabbers, I think, we're going to be experiencing. And we got some altitude concerns. So I think safety is definitely going to be something we, as locals, need to all kind of bring to the forefront. And
I haven't seen anybody biff it yet. There are going to be rules for the Cannabis Cup. If you go to the Cannabis Cup, it is a vendor, and you give out dabs, you're supposed to have like a pad, and you're supposed to seat people
Escorts
down.
to the seat.
They're not supposed to be standing up. They're supposed to be escorted, and watched. And it's this whole like, don't fall and hit your head situation, basically. Like, don't fall and hit your head.
I mean, High Times has lawyers, and they make the rules, and
they have to protect themselves.
Yeah, of course. We want to be able to do this again next year.
Yeah, I mean the recreational area is massive, dude. Massive recreational area.
Yeah, that's where our booth is. Definitely come check us out in the rec area.
Is that the outside area?
Yeah.
Okay.
The big outside across the street.
Right there.
How do you think people in Denver are going to respond to this? Not only the Cannabis Cup, but the 420 rally downtown. I know there's been some. We had Miguel Lopez yesterday on from the 420 rally. I know there's been some uproar, hoo-ha about the the grass and ruining the new $9 million park.
I mean, if you ask me, I think it's a crime to have non-edible crops planted on that sort of scale to start with. That should all be edible food forest. But that aside, I mean, I think it's going to be... Here's what I think. I think this is the last really great... You hear about Burning Man, and they're like, oh man, the first 5 years of Burning Man were friggin' insane. And now it's all corporatized and child-proofed and safe and whatever. And I think we're going to see that, if not with cannabis in general, then definitely with our 420 festivities, Cannabis Cup. I don't think we're going to see it like next year, but I think it's going to be 15 years from now. We're going to be like, oh man, remember 2013? Holy shit, you could, dabs weren't illegal yet.
Right.
Dabs weren't illegal yet. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think dabs are going to be illegal. They just may regulate the shiz out of it wherever they can get made and all that other greatness. Dude, I can't. Yeah, I mean, the first time that I walked into, I repeat this, because this is one of the most memorable stories I have from the ganja experiences that we all have here in Colorado for the past 5-10 years. I mean, what's really awesome is that you walk into this, the Exto Event Center, and at the time, I mean, it's going to be even, 10 times the scale. It feels
it's like the Exto plus
this year. But you walk into that warehouse of the Exto over there, and it's just like clam baked, the whole warehouse. The first time that you ever did it, and you're like, whoa. It's amazing, dude. It's like this. You walk into a whole new country, that's like, yes, please come smoke weed.
And it's
amazing. I love it.
Like when we went to Amsterdam before they brought the cup here and did the cup there, and I thought that was really something. But something that's really been and it kind of feels good to say this on the air. Actually, something that's really been weighing on my mind past month is I went out to Amsterdam 4 years ago to see to make my pilgrimage to the Cannabis Cup. You know what I mean? And little did I realize that it was actually about bringing it back here and going to this cup. Like, I am way more excited about tomorrow than I was about flying to Amsterdam, going to Europe, like the whole thing. My first cup, you know, like this. It's America. We have a fucking cannabis cup in America. I don't know if it can curse on this, but
you can curse.
Yeah, sure. Then we have a fucking cannabis cup in America, guys. Like,
I know, it's awesome, dude. It's going to be absolutely amazing. And what it means for the future is what is really awesome. I mean, that's what really feels heartwarming and incredible, and hopefully everybody behaves themselves, which, I mean, they should.
I've never been to a stoner event where people didn't behave themselves.
And there's obviously, you know, when you get like as many people as are going to be here, you get that many people together, there's obviously somebody that's going to be a jackass.
Yeah, you know, they paid a lot of money for those tickets, too. No one wants to get thrown out. That's what you have.
Yeah. Well, I'm talking about the whole weekend.
Oh, yeah, with 420 and everything. Yeah,
everything.
Yeah. And I mean, and with the cup, I mean, again, that many people in a tight space. Look, we've all seen people pass out from dabs. You got out-of-towners, you got altitude, you got all this happening. Probably going to be a lot of that in tight spaces. There's going to be crowds. There's going to be pushing. It's going to get hectic. You never know. But hopefully, we'll all keep our heads and be cool and like come out of this looking good.
We'll have to fend anyone off with a propane torch, hopefully.
Exactly. Yeah. That was last minute decision.
I think
quick.
I think there. I mean, what I don't want to see is people going to the hospital, you know, because of marijuana, and not because of marijuana, because of their uncertainty of their tolerance of marijuana. So therefore, they're like, "Oh my God, I'm gonna die."
Well, there's that, and then there's the other fact that people need to pace themselves. Like, if you're listening and you're not from here and you're coming here, you cannot smoke. You probably can, but don't start by smoking the same way you do at home, because there's other, like the altitude, like the humidity, other factors in play than just your tolerance.
You can't smoke me under the table.
And also, our weed is way better than your weed. Way better.
Yeah, that's what Mitch said. That's awesome, dude. And he's been all over the damn world.
It's true. I mean, I've never been to Asia. I haven't seen the Asian scene. I hear Australia is really, really good with the ganja scene. But
yeah, I hear that too. That Australia has a fantastic green scene.
That's something in the
I'd
future.
like to go to Australia. It's a beautiful place.
Let's do it, man. Let's do it.
All right.
You know what I want to do?
Are you taking me?
I want to do Jamaica. I want to do a growers exchange program with Jamaica, where we bring Jamaican growers to Colorado and send Colorado growers to Jamaica.
That would be cool, dude. That would be really cool, dude. And then Jamaica would have Colorado weed.
Yeah. Well, their technique would come up, the genetics would come up, and I mean, yo, man, when you start teaching them some of the organic stuff that we do in recycled soil, like that crosses over into food production, and that changes poverty, man. That's some real shit out
that's
there.
what I was thinking is, you know, they how much the economy is based on marijuana in Jamaica. I mean, it's absolutely, I mean, it's awesome. It's absolutely incredible.
Yeah, it's like 70%, I think.
And we
or
would
something
love
like
to
that.
improve. Yeah, I mean, they don't like prosecuting because it would just absolutely diminish the economy.
Yeah. And not that their economy is good in any. That's the only thing.
I think it's
good about
tourism
their
and
economy.
weed.
Yeah,
tourism and weed.
Basically it. Kind of like Colorado, I guess.
And that's what it's gonna seem like here as soon as the switch is flipped January 1st. So come January 1st, what are you thinking, man? How do you think this all is gonna go down?
I kind of think some amount of it we have to wait and see after this weekend, because we have, most of
the bill is inside the legislature being bounced around right now, and
they're going
come
to
out.
be watching what's all in the news in the next week. After this week,
and that's why it's important for everyone. I mean, be careful. The DUID bill is coming up for.
Can we talk about that? Can we talk about that? The Supreme Court said you need a warrant for a blood draw now.
Yeah, I did see that. Sean McAllister also pointed that out earlier today. Yeah, the Supreme Court ruled you need a warrant or permission to take a blood draw. Which I don't know exactly how that affects DUID laws.
I mean, they can't draw the blood. I suppose they could mouth swab you or whatever, or do like a sobriety test.
They'll figure out somehow how to get that warrant.
I mean, but it's the same thing like searching your car. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They pull you over. Sorry, you're gonna need a warrant for that. Sometimes they'll get that warrant, but really, eight times out of 10, I'm no lawyer, but in my experience, the majority of the time, they're not gonna go through the trouble.
I'd definitely like to ask Warren and other people and see what the news stories have to say about that situation, because I mean that could be possibly huge.
I mean, it could. Look, if they go to mouth swab testing, just keep some hydrogen peroxide in your car and you'll be fine.
Mouth swab testing, I mean, that's not going to fly in court. Already when I was on probation, they tried mouth swabbing me a couple times because they were going through new products, new swabs.
So they're like testing it out.
Yeah. And like, I mean, they're unreliable.
Yeah, well, of course. Like I said, hydrogen
Completely
peroxide.
They're completely unreliable, and I think if you were to battle that in a court of law, that you would probably do pretty well.
Yeah. And I mean, and look, the whole blood draw thing, and I'm hoping to actually
I don't want to get my blood drawn, period.
Well, and that's the thing. You're not a doctor. You're a cop, man. You're
But
not.
I don't think... But cops wouldn't necessarily be the ones
So
here.
they're going to call an ambulance to the side of the road, and now they're tying up like all these city resources to get my blood?
Over weed again.
That's what I'm saying. Is like they... no, that wouldn't necessarily happen. Colorado State Patrolman can take your blood.
Well, that guy's not a doctor either.
But he is certified to be able to take your blood.
That's cool. But and here's my concern too. You're going to take me outside on the side of a road, and let's say I'm a medical patient.
Firemen are.
Let's say I have a compromised immune system. So you're going to give me an open wound on the side of the road?
If that Colorado State Patrol officer wants to.
Well, I know they will.
But that's what's bullshit. I agree, and I think the majority of the time that they would take you to a fire station, do the police station.
Right, not on the side of the road.
I mean, it wouldn't be done necessarily on the side of the road, but still at the same time, I mean, by that time, you're not going to be testing positive. I mean, you're not going to be high at that point in time when they draw your blood, and that's where the problem with, like, when we were really harsh on normal, and Keith Stroop says that 5 nanograms means that you're high.
I guess it's time to start talking about it. I was waiting until this weekend to talk to these guys and stuff like that.
The other day I blew
normal.
normal.
What people are not paying friggin' attention to is no one is measuring the THC in your blood. They're measuring the THC metabolites. What the junk, like when you throw a party and there's cups and plates everywhere, that's what they're measuring. You can't say how big the party was by how many cups are sitting around the house. That's ridiculous.
Well, then when they measure active cannabinoid levels, I'm pretty sure that that's what they're measuring when this 20 to 25 nanograms is what state toxicologists testified on that being. And I've heard that multiple times, for people who have had to be tested right afterwards, or tests that have been done right after like an accident or whatever. A person had admitted to just smoking right then. I mean, it's upwards of 20 plus. Easily 20
if you've
plus
just
to show
smoked?
Impairment. Yeah. I mean, that's what's going to show impairment. I mean, that proves science. It's like if you just smoked and you're testing positive at 20 plus, I mean, that's our gauge there. When we were starting to feel out what the ranges are, and 5 is a hell of a lot farther. I mean, 5 is a pretty damn good ways away from 20.
Yeah, and
that's what normal is fighting right now for, is that you to be in trouble at 5 nanograms, which you're not high at 5 nanograms. No. You can't even hit 5
some people
nanograms.
are. Some people are.
How are
not
some
me.
people? Well, how can you? I mean, yeah, you're high.
If
how are you high at 5 nanograms, though? I don't understand.
I'm not.
I don't think you can go from 0 to 5 nanograms. I think you can go from like 0 to 20.
Well, you do, and that's the thing. You go to 0 to 20, and then it goes down over time.
But see, that's what I'm saying.
So if you're at 5 or above, they're saying you're high.
Yeah, that's what they're saying, is that you're inebriated to drive.
And truth told, some people were baked at 5 milligrams. I've given people a 2 milligram candy.
But can you say that with certainty and with science?
No. Not certainly not beyond a reasonable doubt. And it's some people.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't even think some people are. I don't think 5 nanograms is enough to show impairment.
I'll tell you this. I know 100 milligrams of THC going in is going to turn into probably thousands of milligrams of, or nanograms of THC metabolite in my blood. And I got to say, I probably shouldn't drive when I've got that going strong.
Well, you shouldn't drive when you're stoned. If you're feeling like
if you feel impaired at all.
If you feel impaired at all, but that's what I'm arguing.
But that's what I'm talking about.
5 nanograms.
Thousands, I'm talking about thousands of nanograms.
But I don't know I don't know how high. I don't think it goes that high though.
Of course, I mean it's nanograms.
But see, I don't think that's the thing. Is if you're like 20 to 25 nanograms is pretty baked.
You do, and that's the thing. You do cap out. You get like totally saturated at some point, and then you're like thoroughly weeded, I guess is the scientific term.
I would argue that 5 nanograms is not going to show impairment, but we'll find this out soon. I mean, there's a court in Idaho, I think is where it was. The Supreme Court overturned a conviction for a DUID in Idaho.
I heard about that. Yeah, what's the story? I just saw the headline.
I mean, I think it was this one-time situation, so I'm not exactly sure.
Okay.
We read it. It was, I think, week before last.
Okay.
Are you paying attention?
I'm listening.
When did we read that DUI story? Are you in the details?
It was last week.
The Idaho. Anyway, the guy was let off because they couldn't show that he was impaired.
Okay. There's been a lot of good court
the science
cases.
Isn't there? I mean,
a lot of good court cases recently. A lot of jury nullification. N.J. Weedman's case went really well. That was friggin' cool. In New Jersey, where I never thought a jury
that
of
guy's
12
a character.
people would acquit. Oh, he's quite. Do you hear? So he's in court eating stuff the whole time.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh yeah, I take weed all the time. I'm eating edibles right now." Apparently, I don't know if it's true, but he claimed to be eating edibles in the courtroom, wearing like a weed leaf T-shirt. Like, bro, I never would do it, and the fact that he pulled it off, my hat's off to him.
I guess.
Hey.
That might be civil disobedience, or it might be
you don't
not
know.
having a lot of smarts.
Exactly. You never know. But hey, he got acquitted, man. All 12 jurors acquitted him.
Yeah, no, that,
for 2 pounds in his trunk in New Jersey. Hey, right on.
As I said, that guy's he's a character. Got off. That's great.
Yeah,
it's fantastic. I've talked to him a few times. So, how's Incredible going? I mean, what's going on with the you got Incredibles and you got Riggs. You got
we have a lot of secrets right now.
Secrets?
Is what we have. Yes.
Yeah. Are you bringing back the mug?
I can give no details. As a matter of fact, y'all motherfuckers can go over there
Come
and
on.
try to look at what we got, but it's all gonna be hidden under tarps. You'll see what it is tomorrow.
I'm done trying to break into details and stuff like that. I'll see it when it gets here.
You'll see it when it gets here, and I just want we all kind of came to that realization that this is what Incredible's been about, man. We started in Colorado 4 years ago. We went out to Cannabis Cup in Amsterdam, and we said, hey, I think the energy's kind of like leaving here. It's leaving here, but I felt energy building at home, and here we are 4 years later in our friggin' hometown. There is a Cannabis Cup. Here we are, so we're definitely taking this extremely seriously and almost like unconventionally for us.
Nice. So you won't give us any details, though? I said I was done.
Oh, I'll say this. I'll say this. I'll say if you remember the milk machine.
Yeah, that's great.
You will friggin' love the milk bar.
The milk bar?
It's a bar now, and that's all I'll say on that.
It's pretty cool. There's this frozen mug that you put up to this machine, and it pours smoke into the mug, and then you drink the smoke.
It's even cooler than that now, and I can't even, like...
It's exactly how I just said it. I'm serious. Like, exactly how I just said it. You drink the smoke out of the mug.
Yeah, you do.
But now I guess you have a cooler idea now.
Well, I mean, it's just it's a little more user friendly, a little more impressive now.
All right,
and it's a lot more convenient. There was a lot of waiting last year, so we just kind of like dialed it in more.
You and your contraptions.
And then we got the Goblin King, which you may remember.
Woo! I played Necro Goblicon song.
Oh, did you?
Yeah,
nice. So the Goblin King is our that's that green slime hookah that Halen blew.
Yeah, the Joel Halen.
And then we had Dub Glassworks got it electroformed. So the thing weighs like 20 pounds now.
Yeah, I was there when Joel Halen. Well, he made the
right.
the
You were
hookah
shooting video there. Yeah,
I was there when we have video of that when he made the hookah body, and then I was there too when you picked it up in Vegas.
Oh, that's right. You were there when I got it all e-formed out.
Yeah, what would you guys do? You pick it up in Vegas.
So
now,
now,
this thing is beast.
So now, it's going a whole different level of shit right now. I think. We've never really presented it in a way that people could appreciate it before, and now we've finally given it its proper presentation.
You're finally happy with it?
Well, we didn't change the Goblin King much, but the thing is, there's so much going on with that piece. Joel did amazing work on it.
Yeah.
Then Spaceman put like 8 marbles on the fucking thing.
I know, it's crazy.
And Sane Dog, the e-forming on that, literally, I've looked at it for hours. So we kind of want to, and now that everyone has to sit down to dab, that's all I'll say. We've just created a more thorough experience with it.
That's awesome.
And then, of course, we have the Vulcan, the new shit.
The Vulcan?
The incredible Vulcan. Yeah, it's our butane-free, battery-powered, rechargeable ignition system.
What?
Handheld. Yeah, motherfucker.
I didn't know about this.
Of course, I keep secrets.
I didn't know about this.
Yeah,
this
man.
is awesome. The Vulcan.
So it doesn't have that 45-second heat-up time that a lot of ignition systems have.
Wow.
It charges off USB. It fits right on an Incredible, so you don't have to, there's no guesswork, but you could totally bowls, cigarettes, bongs. You can even dab with it. It's got this. It's got a nichrome wire, which is similar to what you're familiar to from vape pens, but it's ceramic encased, so it doesn't give off any poisonous chromium off gases, which nichrome does, and also gets you this nice tip that gets you can really roast weed with it. You're not smoking a teeny little vape pen.
Nice, man. You're gonna have to.
There's gonna be a lot of should be a few of them walking around the cup, and we're gonna hopefully get everyone who needs a light to be lighting off those. One other thing I think about, I'm coming across as like a total hippie on this appearance.
Nah.
But one thing I think about is all right, you talk about the 16,000 people who are gonna be at that cup, right? How many lighters did each of us buy last year? At least 10. You know what I'm saying? And then when you talk about 160,000 Bics. How much space does that take up? That would definitely fill this room, 160,000 Bics. And those are just sitting in a landfill somewhere. This thing will last a lifetime. Charge it off USB. You know, you don't need fuel. It's just electricity.
Nice, dude. No, that's exciting because we've been waiting for years for these things to start coming out. These, personal ignition systems and
there have definitely been. You've seen the evolution. You know, we had the vape pens, and there have been the wands and things like that.
Yeah.
But something fully battery powered and something like really convenient, something you can recharge in your car or off your laptop or whatever.
Yeah.
It's finally here, and we're really proud to be bringing it to the cup.
Yeah. No, that's fantastic, dude. I can't wait to use that later. I'll probably see you around the cup.
Yes,
you have
sir.
it over at the cup right now?
Yeah, I think I do. My troops went all over there. I got to go help them set up the booth and shit.
Sweet. Yeah, I'll be over there at some point in time today to set up things too.
Cool, buddy. Well,
I might end up putting everything on my back and hauling it over.
Like a man. I'm like, you can ask me for a hand, bud.
No, it's cool. It's we'll figure out a car.
All right, cool, man.
So Incredible Industries, where can people check you out, dude? And you're in every single. The Incredible is like in every single head shop across the entire world.
I'm hearing that's not so much the case anymore. I don't know.
Really?
I thought so, but then people were telling me, nah, I'm having trouble finding them again. I don't know what it is, so that's why maybe people forgot about us, so we came to do it big this time. So, yeah, we got theincredible.com, incrediblestore.com. If you want to pick one up for your 420 holiday, we realistically won't get it there by then, but we'll ship it to you next week. And obviously, come by if you're coming to the cup in the non-smoking section. We're also going to be with the Greenest Green in medical, and then we're in recreational, obviously, going completely nuts.
I've smoked a lot of Greenest Green Earl.
Yeah, they do that Lemon G shatter. It's not the strongest stuff, but unquestionably the tastiest stuff I've ever dabbed.
Really, yeah, it's crazy, dude. Dude's got a crazy collection of rigs, too.
Yeah, no, I was down there at the shop the other day just shooting pictures of them for my Instagram, dude. Crazy. The honey money? Come on, that's like the nicest piece I've ever seen.
Does he have the honey money?
He has the honey money, yeah. And he has the Death Star money.
You hit one of them, Tim. I forget which one we were at Christmas. We were up there and you hitting the monies.
But I don't think it was the honey money.
I have a picture of it if you want to see.
Yeah, two of them then.
Yeah, let's see that picture real quick.
Yeah.
But these are new. The Death Star and the honey weren't his personal ones. These are ones in the shop.
Oh.
Or, I mean, they're his, but...
Yeah, I don't know. They're in the display at the shop.
Yeah, they're...
I think he's getting another torch, too. A glass
I heard
torch.
that honey money was like, he got that on auction.
A glass torch is what I'm looking for. Dougie from Hitman was here the other day.
A word? I've been trying to link up with Dougie. He hit me up before he came to town. Yeah, he hit me up before he came to town. I'll run into him, I'm sure.
He'll probably be over the Cubs some point in time today. I'd like to be able to figure out, get another studio rig from him. We've had our Hitman rig since what is it? Hitman started, you started, we started. A lot of people started around the same time.
Like Hitman, I know the first time I saw them was the first Denver Cup. Yeah. I was like, wow, these motherfuckers came out strong.
The 710 Cup, we're going to be giving away passes.
Here you go, buddy. This is the...
through Hitman.
This is the honey money.
Let me check that out. Yeah, I know. Yeah, exactly. I've seen this before. Yeah, I've seen this one before. This is just ridiculous. Oh, I want to see this in person.
I know, and the pictures couldn't do it justice, no matter how many I took or how I played with the effects.
Dude, so awesome, so beautiful. The honeycombing that some artists can do just looks fantastic.
Did you see the honeycomb? He also has the microscope. The honeycomb microscope.
The honey microscope.
Yeah,
He has that one too?
Yeah, right there.
What?
That's
dude. This is up there?
Yeah, just this week I went there and I was like, wow, you just added a bunch of stuff, Brad, and yeah.
Wow, dude, that's crazy.
Cool. All right, my phone's blowing up, buddy. I think I probably got to go.
The microscopes are just insane, dude. Like, I really want one of those microscopes, the glass microscopes.
Yeah, so sick.
Tons of them. Yeah, thanks for joining us, dude.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Tim. I'll check back in with you. I just got to catch up with what everyone's doing.
What's the website people can go to?
www.theincredible.com or incrediblestore.com.
All right, tonight 420 Extravaganza.
Oh, true that. Forgot about that.
420 Extravaganza. We talked about it before you even got on. 420 Extravaganza with DJ Premier. Thank you very much, Mitch.
Thank you, Tim. I'll check you in a bit, bro.
Yeah, we'll talk some point in time today. 420extravaganza.com. 420extravaganza.com. DJ Premier and Raekwon tonight live. So thanks for hanging out with us, iCannabisRadio.com. You're hanging out with the John Doe Radio Show. Big thanks to our sponsors, Element 420, Element FOUR20.com, and our friends over at WarrenEdson.com, Edson Maton and Mats, and Compassionate Pain Management, CompassionatePM.com. A great place for you to go and get your meds. Everybody here at Hood Lab and the Cannaval doing a great job. I think doing the community a great justice and making everybody proud. I think everybody in the community would be proud of the hard work and the efforts put in by all the great people over here at Hood Lab and Cannaval, because not a single issue really came up. I haven't heard really any complaints at all, besides maybe the little bit of an issue about the weather. It absolutely was freezing here at the beginning of the week. Today, outside, wonderful. I mean, compared to the beginning of this week and the snow that came in, I think everybody was really worried at some point in time this week that we were going to maybe have to deal with snowstorms and snow on the ground. The 420 rally downtown, I think even yesterday, I thought there was still going to be a bunch of snow on the ground, but looking around at all the snow on the grass in the parks and areas around here, and when you're driving around, I mean, there's just not a ton of snow still on the grass. It's melted pretty quickly, and things look like they're going to be really, really, really fun this weekend for you guys. Probably still going to be a little bit wet downtown, and still going to probably still be slightly wind chill a little bit, but it's going to be way better than we thought it was going to be.
Warm in the sun.
Warm as heck. Today is going to be absolutely warm. It's already great outside.
I just stepped outside, and the street is starting to get crowded outside.
It's starting to get crowded. Tons of people already around.
There's no parking. There's constant volume of cars going up and down the street.
That's
the food trucks are setting up. I hear some bass in the background now going.
I think that's here.
Yeah. That's some.
Yeah, we got music going on now here at the lab. Awesome. Everybody's getting excited, man. You can feel the environment and the atmosphere really starting to kick up. Everybody's starting to be really joyful and cheerous.
All because of weed.
Because of the good green.
Thank you, weed.
420 weekend, 419 here in Denver, Colorado. Where's Big Buddha Seeds at?
Big Buddha Seeds, they're down the street still, working their way. I just sent the text to see if they're going to be here. We said right around noon, and that's right around now, up until the next X amount of minutes.
All right.
We got
trying to lock down people this week has been just a ridiculous.
Everyone's got so much going on. We got.
Just make sure that you try and get a beer.
We got TB's Electrax here from California.
Right on. Shout out to those guys.
I'm gonna smoke some of their hash as soon as we're done here, or maybe even before. Maybe I'll just go smoke some now.
Yeah, you can join me on the show and help me fill the hour that we have left on the John Doe Radio Show.
I could help
your experiences.
I could help you by being high.
This Saturday is April 20th, obviously a date increasingly known for as a holiday for celebrating marijuana. Increasingly known. I think, this is from the Huffington Post. It's always been known as a holiday to us.
You about to put on some lip balm?
Yes, thank you for your play-by-play.
I didn't know if you were going to talk about it or put it on.
No, I wasn't going to talk about it.
How does it taste?
It tastes fantastic.
You just talked about it.
Your off-topicness is just amazing.
I don't know. Really, there was a topic we were sticking to.
Weed.
Well, you're holding a thing of lip balm made by a edible company, even though it's non-med.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't have anything cannabis hemp in it. This 420, the first 2 U.S. states to vote to legalize marijuana.
Marijuana? I feel like you're from Transylvania.
With God, this freaking I hate how articles for print can't be necessarily read for broadcast very well. But this 420.
What do you mean?
The first, since they're not very talkative, they don't speak very well.
Well, the way a newspaper article is written.
Yes.
I never noticed that before. I seriously never did. It's pretty interesting.
But this 420, the first since 2 U.S. states voted to legalize marijuana. Don't just party. With momentum on our side, let's use there's speaking to people of the 420 movement in Huffington Post. Let's use the holiday as an opportunity to build the movements to change even more marijuana laws. Colorado and Washington State may have made history by voting to replace prohibition with systems to tax and regulate marijuana, but there are still 48 states to go. Some people think that only marijuana users should worry about the impact of marijuana laws. In truth, we are all paying for the enormous costs of enforcing marijuana prohibition. Police made more than 750,000 marijuana arrests in 2011, and your tax dollars paid for it. At a time where concerns about the deficit and debt are growing and policymakers are putting cuts to programs like Social Security and Medicare on the table, legalizing and taxing marijuana could generate billions of dollars a year in revenue. Why I kind of mentioned this story is because this is a story written in the view of, there's people getting involved in the cannabis industry and into reform that aren't necessarily stoners, that do have an interest in everything that we're doing, business interest, political interest, humanitarian interest, if it's having so many people in prisons and being sent away because of a ridiculous war on drugs. So that's why the stories like these are important to point out. Another story that is explaining the God, I can't think of the word. The variation between thoughts is narrowing.
That's good.
It's more than a money problem. While cops are busy arresting people for marijuana possession, nearly 4 of 10 murders, 6 of 10 rapes, and 9 of 10 burglaries go unsolved, allowing cops to refocus their attention on protecting public safety and stopping real crime, something that should concern us all. Tokers and abstainers alike. And as long as marijuana remains illegal, gangs and drug cartels will control the market, oftentimes using violence as a means to protect their tax-free profits. The U.S. Department of Justice estimates Mexican drug cartels operating drug distribution networks in more than 100,000 U.S. cities. That's funny. 1,000 U.S. cities. We all want safe communities, but keeping marijuana illegal means more criminals setting up shop on our street corners. Thankfully, many non-users are adding their voice to the debate about marijuana laws and are getting involved in the movement to change them. For example, we can be pretty sure that conservative evangelist Christian Pat Robertson doesn't smoke spliffs. Yeah, how can we be certain that he doesn't smoke spliffs, though? I don't think that is a 100%.
You can tell.
There's assholes that smoke spliffs.
Yeah, but there's a certain type of asshole. Straight edge asshole.
He's for reforming marijuana laws because it's ridiculous that they're in place. He might go behind the scenes and smoke a doobie. They're saying that he doesn't smoke spliffs, but he does think we should treat marijuana the way we treat beverage alcohol by legalizing it, regulating it, and taxing it. What Colorado is about ready to do here. Similarly, no one suspects that people like California Lieutenant Governor Gavin Newsom, Seattle Mayor Mike McGinn, federal judge Richard Posner, or the editorial board members of the conservative magazine National Review are stoners, but they've all called for changes to marijuana laws. The growing anti-prohibition attitude among non-users extends beyond celebrities to the general public. Indeed, polls and federal studies reveal that the percentage of Americans who support legalizing marijuana is greater than the percentage who have ever used marijuana, and much greater than the percentage who use it on a regular basis. Just 7% have used in the past. These numbers are still off. 42% have ever used marijuana. 52% agree with legalizing, 7% used in the past month. You lie! 7%. You don't have to be a marijuana user to know it's time to change our failed, expensive, and dangerous marijuana laws. So this 420, ladies and gentlemen. So this 420, please, do celebrate how far the movement has changed and how much failed marijuana laws have come.
I keep thinking about what Miguel said yesterday about how it's a political protest.
What?
420.
Yeah, I mean, it's political protest.
Yeah, it's an interesting point. I never really thought of it that way.
Why did you never think of it that way?
Well, because like me, like a lot of people, probably still haven't even thought of it that way. I just get caught up in.
It's not just a party.
Before it was a political protest to me. It was just like everyone else, a time to smoke some weed.
I've always thought of it as a day to celebrate our culture and to be aware of the laws around us.
Gee, I probably because I'm older than you.
Civilly disobedient.
Before 420 was like a huge popular thing, we didn't really think that way. It was just something we heard on Fish Store.
Because you weren't an activist mentality then.
No, but I don't think a lot of people were. I think a lot of people used 420 to their advantage to get some laws changed, and I think that's great.
But don't rest your laurels or be fooled into thinking that legalization is inevitable. Get involved. Join an organization like Marijuana Majority so you can find out when your local policymakers are addressing marijuana laws. Share some marijuana reform news on Facebook and Twitter, and talk to your friends and family about the reasons even non-users should care about changing marijuana laws. We're on track to end prohibition, but it's going to take hard work, money, and constant pressure on politicians to enact marijuana laws that voters want. We can do it, but only with your help. It's interesting how friendly the Huffington Post is on cannabis stories. I always find myself being like, wow, that's pretty crazy. I mean, every single day they have at least one or two news stories that have to deal with cannabis, which blows me away. It's
I think because it's becoming so cutting edge and it's becoming so prominent, you can't ignore it. And if they didn't cover it, then...
No, I agree with that. But also at the same time, the Huffington Post has been doing that even before everybody kind of switched over. I mean, they've been doing this for a little while now.
Why not?
Become more and more increasingly awesome of a new news cover spot and more of a everyday thing for them. I remember reading stories from the Huffington Post for years, dude. What are you doing?
I was turning off the phone.
Yeah, I'm over the phone. I'm over it at this point in time. It doesn't bother me too much anymore at all. But the Huffington Post is fantastic. I think we accomplished that. What's up? This is what's interesting here today in the news. A story. Somewhat mysterious player shakes up marijuana influence game in Colorado. The name appeared out of no... I have no idea, by the way, what the hell this is talking about. What are you doing?
Switching around, getting ready for our guest here.
I see. Oh, those big-ass metal chairs are...
I know, they're very comfortable to sit on.
The name, that's why I put a pad down. Because I'm smart.
Thank you.
You're not so much. Oh, that's a big doobie.
This is a very special doobie right here.
The name appeared out of nowhere. Unfamiliar to the players who have worked for months to influence how recreational marijuana will be regulated in Colorado. On March 28th, someone named Matt Taylor hired high-powered lobbying firm Axiom Strategies to work on marijuana issues, records show. Taylor has since expanded his lobbying team to rival that of anyone with a stake in adult-use marijuana, legalized by Amendment 64 in November. No one knows who he is, and with a name like that, no one has been able to find out much. Said somebody who lobbies for the Marijuana Policy Project. God dang it, the stupid thing refreshed here. I lost my page.
What'd you do? You lost your page from reading?
Yes, thank you, Captain Obvious.
I can hardly hear you next to this drum and bass.
Well, why don't you put on some headphones, smart ass?
Well, okay, there's no headphones over here.
They're down there. You act like this is your first time in here.
It's my first time taking headphones out of a box.
You're driving me crazy this week with your awesome color commentary.
Thank you.
It seems like I'm being short with you. What?
If it seems like you being short with me,
pointing out my nose hairs instead of the fantastic hairs on the bud.
Well, that's what you do.
No, that's what you're supposed to do. Not rib me.
Would you like to say hello?
No, I don't want to change the subject.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Not quite yet.
I'm here.
No offense to you. Bike has no clue what he's doing over here. Kidding.
Most people know that.
Has he had his morning dab yet?
I haven't.
Yes, he has.
I haven't.
Because that would be my solution.
Well, then go dab.
Well, I don't want to be rude and just leave you here with my friend without introducing you.
I think we can handle things here. I'm going to finish up this story, though.
Go for it.
Thank you for your permission.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. The MPP says nobody knows who the fark this guy is. I haven't seen anything like it, but we've never seen anything like Amendment 64, says MPP. Colorado's marijuana mystery man, it turns out, describes himself as a former Marine and failed race car driver who made his wealth in home heating oil on the East Coast and wants to get on the ground floor of the building industry worth untold millions in his home state. I don't care about the phone. You don't have to worry about the phone, dude.
Okay,
worry about weed.
Have it.
Worry about weed. Weed.
I'm not worried about weed anymore. I got big fatty in my pocket.
Big spender. The appearances of a new big spending character come at a key moment as Colorado enters uncharted territory of legalized pot. Interests and unlikely alliances are trying to shape the rules that will determine who can enter the highly lucrative business and how the market will be structured. Marijuana interests led by medical marijuana business groups and dispensaries already have paid at least $137,475,000 to lobbyists in the fiscal year that began in June. And the real battle has not begun. Bills in the General Assembly to establish rules for recreational pot have yet to be introduced, and fewer than 3 weeks remain in the session. One issue has proven especially controversial, whether to let recreational pot stores and commercial growers operate independently. Momentum has shifted to that approach, a turn away from medical marijuana industry rules that require growers and sellers to be part of the same company and for stores to grow most of what they sell. On the side of at least starting with the medical model, it is an unlikely alliance of medical marijuana business groups, law enforcement, and citizens groups seeking to restrict the recreational industry. Those advocating for a more open system are strange bedfellows to a labor union, activists, smaller medical marijuana business interests, and the mysterious Mr. Taylor. The issue first arose publicly in a working group of task force appointed by Governor John Hickenlooper. The working group backed making shared ownership of grow operations and retail stores optional. Representative Dan Pabon, I think that's how you say his name. The panel's co-chair said voters made clear they wanted marijuana to be regulated like alcohol, which has a 3-tiered system of manufacturers, distributors, and retailers. The purpose of that is to prevent monopolies and cartels and a small amount of interests owning the industry. Primarily that came out of prohibition, where mobsters and the black market were prevalent, and we didn't want to make that same mistake to have legitimized drug dealers and thugs running our system. This article continues to go on. I'm not going to read the rest of this thing, but it is a long article that gives a ton of news, information about what's upcoming here with Amendment 64 and the implementation, information about Matt Taylor, the businessmen interested in recreational marijuana, informing the rules around it, and all that great stuff. So go to denverpost.com if you'd like to check that out. Somewhat mysterious player shakes up marijuana influence game in Colorado. That and other news today. Not a huge news day here in Colorado, besides it being 420, or 419, the eve of 420. So that's good times. All right, go ahead.
Who, me?
The other you.
Okay. Well, we're about to have our guest here.
Damn, there's a lot of people out there.
It's getting loud. And I forget if you have your headphones on so you can hear me, but to your right is a very dear friend of mine. This is Miss Jackie Worley.
What's up, Jackie?
You may know Jackie because you've been to many cannabis
cups. I've met her
cups.
before.
Tim. Yes, okay.
I've met her before. For sure. It's very nice of you to join us.
Yes,
thank you, Mike, for inviting these guys in.
It is a wonderful, exciting weekend here in Denver.
It is a huge, wonderful, and exciting weekend here in Denver. You just got back from Amsterdam, didn't you?
Yes, I arrived last week, so I'm acclimatized now.
So tell everybody that doesn't know who you are, sort of about you. What is it that you do?
Well, my name is Jackie Woodley, also known as Jackie Rebel. Well, it's actually my mother's family name, so it's a double thing.
Nice.
I became an activist because out of need, basically. Being a patient in the Netherlands was not very easy. But as a sidetrack, I also found there was not much culturally happening on the cannabis front. So I revived what's known as Million Marijuana March, Million Marijuana Day, which is the first Saturday in May. And so we called it Cannabis Liberation Day. So I organized that for 4 years. And then sidetracked to start a medical foundation called the Patients Foundation for Effective Medicinal Cannabis. Because at this moment, for the last 10 years, we've had no legal, effective medical cannabis in the Netherlands, which led to me and my fellow head of the foundation and one other patient fighting court cases to the High Court in the Netherlands to win the right to grow our own effective cannabis.
So is medical marijuana, recreational marijuana? I mean, from what we've heard here and from what we understand, I mean, it seems like they've got more of a tightening grip on cannabis and cannabis tourism in the Netherlands. What's really going on there with it?
Oh, it's a concerted effort the last 15 years to destroy our whole cannabis culture. Anything positive to do with it, negative propaganda around it, falsify information around it, falsely inform the people. So everyone that lives in the Netherlands, just about now, apart from a small group of people, thinks it's a very bad thing. You're a loser if you use cannabis. You come to nothing. Here, if I light one of my big spliffs, I'm like, wow, you look cool. That smells good. If I do that next to my coffee shop before my coffee shop opens, it's like, no, you're almost treated like you're addicted to heroin.
Wow. Yeah, that's
I'm
what I've
serious.
heard, man. That's what I've heard.
It's led to the 1,200 coffee shops that were still there 10 years ago. There's just under 600 left now.
Wow.
And the mayor set to close another 50 in the next 2 years in Amsterdam alone.
Wow.
All replaced by alcohol serving.
I was telling Tim I couldn't do a good job of it, but you were explaining to me, Jackie, how the medical patients, what the weed goes through before they actually get their hands on it.
It's actually a bigger scam than that. There used to be, there still is a company called Marifarm. They supplied the medicinal cannabis to the pharmacies in the semi-legal way. The coffee shop system exists in the Netherlands for €5 a gram up till 2003. The Bureau of Medicinal Cannabis, a subdivision of the Ministry of Health, was erected, and they very effectively replaced our workable cannabis that was cheap in the pharmacies by their ineffective cannabis that was €10 a gram. Then they grow a particular strain that's unstable, and they applied the term to it, that's a pharmaceutical term called standardization. So they're growing an unstable sativa, Jack Flash, Jack Herrera, and they're doomed to eternity to harvest it at 9 weeks because of their standardization thing. Furthermore, they can't deny the use of pesticides. Then they gamma ray it, which is like unbelievable that they do such a thing. And then they apply another pharmaceutical thing, granulation, which is nothing more than they grind the weed up. Now we've tested it, and there's some amateur films of us doing this online, comparing it to our weed, and you can actually think that the little crystal that was on it, they've taken that off too. Wow. So it's a completely inferior product, and I mean, I've always had like the finger up attitude anyway, and I've been growing my weed for 25 years. So I never went to the pharmacy, but my fellow head in the foundation found his effective cannabis in 2003 replaced by ineffective. Within days he was back in the coffee shop. And then, since then, we found out no medical ethical commission, no FDA approval. So they secretly went ahead and replaced the Marifarm effective cannabis with the ineffective Bedorcan. And since then, Bedorcan's been very effective in marketing their shit. And they've gone international. They're here in California. They're trying to get their 4 strains FDA approved here. So my warning to the American patients is, you don't want this ineffective cannabis here.
Oh yeah, for sure.
FDA approved. The feds are still going to try and move. You know what GW Pharma is doing, the patents on the different crown systems. What we in essence have found, it's not allowed to have the whole bud to be effective. They call it cannabis simplex, but it's really cannabis complex, and it's not allowed to be effective in the coffee shops or in the pharmacy because they're doing that 20-year pharmaceutical medical process into making their own medicines out of the ground substances out of cannabis, and they want patients to go towards that. Furthermore, we found that the small group of patients like us that have very, very serious illnesses that are almost all going to die within 5-10 years, they can't make enough money over us. So the last half year we found out that they're going to market all their arrows at 2 big groups of patients. A group of patients with obesitas, the overweight group of people, and the people with dementia, because they can make way, way more money over those group of patients than over people like me.
Damn, that's horrible. Well, I mean, Denver's the place to be then. If you're in that desperate situation to where you really need to be in a place that accepts, your use of cannabis, this is the place to be.
I think
it's the new Mecca, man.
It's unbelievable when I arrived here after Amendment 64 passed, the feeling that it's legal, just that feeling alone. Because I've been struggling.
Yeah.
And I'm in the crooked situation that I won my high court case, so I'm an Article 6 patient, which means I'm in a medical emergency. The highest judge in the country has recognized this in me and Rudolph. And the Social Security is paying me €500 a month to grow my own cannabis because they can't supply me with effective cannabis.
Yeah.
Now, so when I come here, I can grow more cannabis. My boyfriend is my caretaker. I can have all the concentrates I need because that's another thing. No concentrates in the Netherlands, huh? No nice Atmos vaporizer pens with hash oil in it. No, nothing like that. So
that's horrible.
It's horrible. People are being tortured. It amounts to torture under the human rights laws. That's what it is, torture.
I don't know what I'd do with
forced to take bad medicine.
I'd start making concentrates.
Well, people don't, but they run to the coffee shop. So what they do, it's all hooked together, we found. We never thought it'd all be like so interlinked in such a subtle way. They don't want, after they chased all the patients out of the pharmacy, they didn't want those patients to go to the coffee shop. So the single research they did was to point out that cannabis from the coffee shops was very dangerous for sick people, full of bacteria and fungi.
Of course.
And to this day, if you look to the Beta-Can Facebook site, they all publish like the recent ABC thing, like how even the weed in Colorado is full of mildew and blah blah blah. How dangerous that is for patients. But what they forget to tell, what the real dangerous thing is to supply ineffective cannabis to patients.
Sure. Yeah. I haven't heard too many people getting sick off of cannabis. You know, I mean, I think if the mildew and mold was a big problem, then more people would be, falling ill because of it. There would be, patterns showing. I still want the cleanest medicine as possible, but
I'm alive because of cannabis oil, and it's a Class A, highly illegal product in my country.
Damn.
But it's funny because the coffee shop owners, they're stuck between a rock and a hard place because they've always made their money in what's called the grey area because they never fully legalized.
Exactly.
When the growers sold to them, they could make all their money there. And it was a symbiotic relationship with the government because they made their tax money too.
Yeah.
So with the tightening and the repression increasing, they got themselves forced into a corner they can't get out of. But I walk into my local coffee shop and the owner says, "Did you put those cannabis college with flyers there with like a weed leaf on it?"
Yeah.
You can't do that because it will endanger. Because they made a bylaw there that's called advertisement. If a customer will pick that up and walk out of the shop, the civil servants will say that's advertisement. I say it's censorship, and they can close the shop down.
Wow.
But I didn't. It was the guy from the college itself that did it to promote his place. And I look at the menu behind him and I say, "Hey, Appie, you've got oil on the menu. And you're selling it for what amounts to a gram, €100. That's really ridiculously expensive, huh?" And they call it amber, and he's not officially allowed to sell it. Then he keeps it in the fridge, but he's got no dabbing rig.
Man, that's expensive.
What do they sell it as? Oil?
Amber.
And just call it amber?
Amber.
Okay, that's the loophole.
I think so.
Because it's not called hash, it's not called
I
oil.
don't think it matters what it's
and you
called.
also get a lot of really bad grade butane with the wax still in it.
You showed me a picture. I saw it was over a press.
And they press it and they sell it like hash.
They press the butane?
Yes.
Wow.
Because it still has so much wax in it. And that's how they get away, because there's so much not knowledge. Even the control team that would control them during a raid check
a lot of
wouldn't know the fucking difference.
Right?
They're so ignorant.
I mean, a lot of people would think the yellow color might pass as a blonde hash if it was pressed or something, and the tourists probably eat it up.
Yeah, you got to understand there's a lot more exotic hash available in the Netherlands, and a lot of that looks like that.
What is that? What does the amber look like?
A winterized butane.
So it's
very
like
classy,
a
clear.
reddish.
And it's just like a big teardrop, and they keep it in the fridge. And that's next to what they call their crystal clear, which is a black isolator pressed extract.
But they call the black ash crystal clear.
But it's just strange because if you would have the money, because it's a crazy, ridiculously high price to buy it, you wouldn't want to roll that in a spliff.
Right. Whoa.
And another thing people gotta understand about my country or Europe in general, that most people smoke it with tobacco and joints, but you wouldn't want to roll that like precious stuff in a joint,
True.
would you?
No, I wouldn't. But you and I and Tim know a little bit better than a lot of people, and a lot of people will still smoke that.
But it's a crazy
I think
thing.
they prefer
because-
it though. It's not a knowing better. They just prefer it. You know,
a lot of people don't have the choices we have.
Well, that's the recreational thing. But then
People
there's
here
also
still
the
do it, man.
patients that need
Nicotine
it.
still smokes. You know.
Sure, very few and far between.
But
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
what about patients that need to take a gram a day to cure their cancer?
Right.
They need clean quality products, clean butane, clean alcohol. Extracts is very good for eating. Clean CO2. That's what they need.
I agree. I mean, it's.
But you get this crazy underground illegal system. People that are desperate hear about Rick Phoenix Tears, Rick Simpson. They somehow find a way to the underground people that make it over this world, whether they're on this continent or on the European. And they buy in small quantities trying to save their lives.
Yeah.
It's insanity. It should just be available to them at a proper, decent price.
What are some of the? I mean, what are some of the penalties that you face?
That's a good
There in the Netherlands. That I mean, I'm familiar with
The
with some
repression
laws, but I mean,
is coming on apart
Has
to the
anything
way
changed?
they persecuted Jews in the Second World War. Just
What?
because they stigmatize you, and if you rent, there's a lot of rental, more renting than buying in the Netherlands. So if you rent from a housing corporation, you could lose your house.
Okay.
You
Damn.
could lose your house. They've got an anonymous phone line. If they've done this in England too now. They spread like 50,000 scratch cards, so people could scratch it and sniff them.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. I wanna get one of those.
So if you smell that, you can grass your neighbor.
I want to see one of those.
Scratch and sniff. So,
Man, it's just to like crash your neighbor because he smokes cannabis. So people might not even be growing. They might be having a bong session. Knock, 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 knock.
Yeah, exactly.
I smell cannabis.
Exactly.
It's like you're a pariah.
I want one of those
Yeah?
cards, man, for collector's purposes.
You're a
though.
pariah. A week before I left, I'm at our local. There's 2 cops outside there. They say I can't smoke my joint outside in Amsterdam.
Damn.
Well, if people know me, I went ballistic on them. So they knew to leave me the fuck alone, and I walk around with my prescription permanently, because I do have a prescription and a doctor's letter.
I'm trying to get Mike to go over to
Yes.
the other mic. Here's an extra mic.
Here's a good friend of ours.
Directing traffic, I have to like this for bike. Hold on, I got to turn on your mic, dude.
The kind of eclectic get together.
What'd you say, dude?
I say people coming here from all over the world and bumping into each other right here on JDR at Cannaval.
That's for sure. Who do we got here? We got Big Buddha Seeds with us.
This is Big Buddha.
What's up, man? How you doing?
What's up, man?
Yeah,
Welcome
good,
to Denver.
thank you. Yeah, pleasure to be here. Absolute pleasure to be here.
Now, so introduce yourself. Let's tell everybody who you are.
Sure. My name's Milo.
Milo.
Yeah, I'm the director here at Big Buddha Seeds.
Nice.
And pretty much what you probably know me by is from our Cannabis Cup winning strain, which was 2006, which was the Big Buddha Cheese.
Big Buddha Cheese.
Yeah, man. So I know that a lot of people like that flavour at the moment. And so we're just coming over here. We've been supporting the High Times crew for a long time. And this year, we've obviously their first annual cannabis show here in Denver. We thought we'd come support it.
When'd you get into town? Where'd you come from? I mean, not where'd you come
At the
from
moment,
originally?
yeah. Originally, the company we started everything off in England, in the UK, in the middle of England, in a town called Birmingham. You'll probably know it's the hometown of Ozzy Osbourne.
Sure.
And that's where you can pick up that accent, where my accent comes from. And,
No, we can understand you.
Yeah, exactly. I hope so.
Yes, easy.
Maybe not later, but
It's early. Plenty of time.
But I originally came from Birmingham, born and raised in Birmingham. My parents are of Chinese origin, from Hong Kong. But I was always born and bred Englishman.
Cool.
But
and that's so you flew over. When'd you get into town?
Yeah, we got into town last Sunday.
Oh wow!
Suffered a few blizzards and saw
Yeah.
some
Got here just
amazing
in time for the weather.
snowstorms. But also amazed as well how the streets all cleared up afterwards.
Yeah,
it gets warm quick.
Yeah, man. So Denver's a lovely town.
We love it here, man.
Yeah, I love it here.
So you'll be back then?
Yeah, we came here 3 years ago.
Okay, cool.
At the kind of the start of the Green Revolution here.
The Green Revolution.
Yeah, man. and now you know we like to obviously be over here and represent ourselves a little bit more. You know, get our brand into a few more clubs out here.
Yeah.
And generally just spread the word of some cheese, because from what I hear as well.
Spread the word of cheese.
Yeah, spread the cheese.
Spread the cheese, don't cut it.
I like that.
So we
spread the cheese, don't cut it.
Spread it thickly.
Yeah, man. We're coming over here just to spread some love.
So you're over there in England, and you heard about weed getting legalized over in America.
Yeah, but
I know
from when I was young, I was always into sort of, you know, growing and smoking cannabis. And you know, we started growing a lot, and then also at the same time while I was growing, you know, I was reading a lot of the magazines, reading a lot of High Times and a lot of magazines in England called Weed World. And
yeah, I've seen Weed World.
Yeah, so I was always just keeping up with the journals. And then eventually I made ourselves over to Amsterdam, because Amsterdam's only a little short flight from England, like 45 minutes on the plane.
Convenient.
Yeah, and so we'd go over to Amsterdam, and literally we spent many years just going wild in the Amsterdam coffee shops. You know, to walk into an establishment and to choose things from a menu.
Yeah,
you know, you're like a kid in a candy store.
Mind blowing the first time.
Yeah, so you know, we spent many years enjoying the coffee shops of Amsterdam, and then eventually, you know, we started growing weed, started growing marijuana, started getting good at it, and then we discovered a clone, which some of our friends were growing, and eventually, after a few years, they gave us the clone, and while me and my sort of crew were growing it, they were growing it. I was busy back crossing it and trying to make myself a seed version of the cheese, and. You know, fortunate enough when I started entering like High Times competitions, and eventually in 2006, it was a changing point of my life where I won a cup, and I think that winning a cannabis cup is possibly every stoner's wet dream.
Yeah.
You know, every stoner or everybody who grows, you know, I think one of their biggest ambitions
it's definitely one of their bucket lists for a lot of people
is to win a cannabis cup, and that was fortunate for me to happen in 2006, and since then we've developed our techniques a bit. We moved over to Amsterdam for a little while, and you know, we got our product out and got it out into the coffee shops, and then obviously we started learning more about obviously the seed game, and like we're learning how like to you know, feminize. We're using like feminized technology to female seeds, and it's brought us all around the world. You know, it's taken us all around the world, and
that's what most of the world wants, right?
Yeah.
What's so what is the seed market like in Europe, and I hear Europe and Russia is absolutely huge.
Yeah, the seed market in Europe in general is huge. As with like most cities and different countries in Europe, you know, some are on the up, some are on the down. You know, like. But at the moment, yeah, Russia's an emerging country. Also, Spain's an emerging country. Holland used to be one of the big leaders, but it's still got a big business there.
Yeah.
But you know, it's you know, things change all the time. England's also a big industry as well. So it's good. It's good to spread our things around. I know that like once we finish here in Denver, next up for us is obviously Seattle. And then after that, we're in Prague, and we're going to be doing the trade show in Prague.
Will it be the first one in Prague? 'Cause it is.
No, it's been going on for about 2-3 years, but
they just passed medical marijuana.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think one plan for Big Buddha Seeds is to go to these countries where it's emerging. That's why we're obviously here in Denver.
Be there from the beginning. Yeah.
Yeah, man. You know, I've been here only for like since Sunday. So like I've been here for 5 days, and already I've seen so much.
Yeah.
You know, all the way from like the home grower, all the way up to like, you know, a big setup, all the way up to huge warehouse setups.
Damn.
And that, you know, Denver's one of the few places in the world where it's happening.
Yeah, no, it's awesome that it's happening. Here.
People are calling it the new Amsterdam. How do you feel about that?
It is. It's looking like it's turning into that way.
I don't like to hear us being called the new Amsterdam because I like having our own identity.
Yeah,
well, I understand what people are saying, but I don't like the idea. I hated the Broadsterdam, the Broadway, South Broadway nickname.
Yeah.
I like our own. I want to take our own, our own image and our own. With that, but
no, it's happening, and also as well we've noticed because obviously last time we were here was in 2010, and this is when as obviously the laws started, and you can see people changing. Some people have stepped up the game a lot. Some people are doing the same thing, and this is just the generation, isn't it? Some people like to be real proactive, and some people are just happy just to still grow their own little patch.
Sure.
And smoke it among friends and social.
Yeah.
But I've noticed a lot more dabbing and stuff.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Over here. And,
we dab like crazy up in here. Yeah. This is Dab City right here.
Yeah, man. It's just starting to pick up as well, and currently, at the moment, I live in Ibiza in Spain.
Oh, nice.
Nice. So the laws are really good there, and they've just started to sort of understand a bit more about dabbing and enjoying it. Yeah,
we definitely have a lot of exports and people going to other countries and trying to teach everybody on how to dab as much as possible.
For me, with dabbing, as long as you've got a nice, clean product. And there's not too much butane in there, and it's been like cleaned out well. For me, it's one of the best highs out there.
Oh yeah,
different for sure.
Oh yeah.
And only in Denver can you get so much high grade over here. So that's the best, man.
What kind of oils are you seeing over in England and Europe?
Well, mostly England at the moment. In Europe, we've got a particular variety out here called in Spain. Called critical mass, and basically the lineage of the critical mass is old school big bud, and it's one of these big yielding things which people like because obviously they're growing it and and they're getting huge returns from it. But to me, it's a little bit sort of spicy, and I like weeds which get you high. But continuously get you high because there's a lot of weeds out there.
Yeah.
How can I describe it? You get immune to it.
Oh,
If you're smoking it every day, all day, every day.
Yeah, that's why I like Tange so much, is because I used to smoke tangerine a lot, and it would I'd never really get used to it.
Yeah.
And I could make concentrates from it. The concentrates just made me feel fantastic.
Yeah.
It's a great strain, and I understand completely what you're saying. Some other strains you just get completely used to. That's why growers just change up so much, I think.
But we've also had
they don't want to get used to the strains.
We've also had so many growers in England as well who smoke cheese now for like 10, 15 years plus, and they're smoking it every day, and there literally is no ceiling to our cheese strain.
Oh yeah.
So a lot of people are still enjoying it after continuous smoking.
That's awesome.
So
I do like the cheese. I like the big booted cheese. I like blue cheese. It's a fantastic strain to grow. A great yielding strain.
Yeah.
So it's cool. What did go ahead.
The main difference between at the time when I first arrived in Amsterdam, I knew that the two biggest players in Amsterdam were at the time the greenhouse coffee shops, and then also Barney's, and so I had sort of two different representations of the cheese, and so I gave obviously one version of cheese for the greenhouse people, and I gave the blue cheese for the Barney's farm and for Barney's coffee shop people.
Yeah,
and that's partly what's made it more successful. But the blueberry's got a more of a pronounced little fruity tinge to it.
I like blueberry. My favorite. What's some of your favorite? I mean, what's the best country that you would say is towards weed? I mean, what's the most lenient, the most progressive?
In Europe, it's still Amsterdam, because with Amsterdam, you could just about still go into the coffee shops.
Besides Amsterdam, besides like Denver, I mean, what is there? What's specific country?
Spain's good.
Spain?
Yeah, Spain's good. with Spain, the laws are pretty
that's why I
lax.
moved there.
Yeah, and you can pretty much get away with growing a few plants out on your terrace.
That's what I've seen. There's
Yeah.
pictures all over the place on the internet now
Definitely.
of people like growing plants out on their balcony. These
Yeah.
big ass plants. It's like, sweet.
And also
They
you
look
can,
great.
Yeah, you can smoke on the beach as well. And,
Oh, yeah.
and enjoy. In fact, I was when I was in Ibiza a few weeks back. My partner was with me, and he explained to one of the security guards who I was. Next thing you know, the security guard at the party was lighting my joint. Yeah. So it's nice to have a little bit of freedom there.
Sure.
But nowhere like Denver.
Oh,
nowhere like over
That's
here.
amazing
bro.
to hear.
Yeah,
That's what everybody says, man. See, that's why other people from other places here in the United States, California, and other cannabis-friendly spots are like, they want to argue that their spot's the best, and I understand that. But when you get down to it, Denver. You get down to it, Denver. I mean, we've the 100 yards sprint is we've taken off, man.
Mm-hmm.
There's no catching us now. No, I'm kidding. You'll be able to catch us.
And also as well, the many strains which are popular in California, and also on the East Coast as well, with all the sour diesels.
Girl Scout cookies got popular out in California, but never really got popular here.
Yeah,
that's one of the ones that never really made it
Yeah.
here. But we've usually got quite a trend of cannabis here that California's been it's been popular in California, and then it usually comes here.
He comes here exactly with all the cushions now.
But that Girl Scout cookies didn't come here.
Because it's a hype.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a hype strain, and also as well now it's got to a point where there's so much hype behind Girl Scout cookies. There's at least 3 or 4 different versions of there.
I've seen more Earl.
Each one's
more oil from it than there are different versions of it. I like the oil. I don't mind the oil. Oil tastes good. It's
nice.
And what's it single quality makes it stand out? The high, the smell.
It's the flavor. It's
Really?
not a
What-
super
flavor,
potent
yeah.
high. It's it tastes like OG. Mostly to me, the platinum Girl Scout cookies I had, very OG heavy.
But also though, I've also seen a lot of watered down cheeses over here, because obviously I've been here this week.
Sure.
I've seen a lot of versions, and which I know myself personally, I've seen better.
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, there's room for improvement.
Sure, okay.
We got to improve on the cheese, Colorado.
Definitely start getting cheesed up, guys.
You maybe have to drop off some seeds here and there.
Well, no, we're going to start working with a few more med clubs out here now, and then we're going to get those guys to push the real deal.
Yeah.
And then we'll get the real deal over here. Also, as well, I've not seen a lot of in Europe. The markets, the highest thing on the market is the Amnesia Stroke Super Silver Haze Stroke G13, and that's a real sort of nice, great European strain, Dutch strain. When that's normally so prevalent, so common in Amsterdam. But it's not seen so much over here.
But again, there's like 5 different amnesias, and
there's different versions.
The only original amnesia is High Pro amnesia.
Yeah, and
all the other stuff are just Super Silver Haze derivatives.
Yeah, and also as well, it depends on the grower as well.
Super Silver Haze, I probably smoke once a week here. I know someone who grows it does a really good job. It smells like shoe polish.
Yeah. There's a few sort of high flaming sativas over here, so just got to get through them all,
That big one I gave you, that's the Grape Ape.
Okay.
That's nice, that's got wow.
That's
Grape
making me
Ape's
feel
a
better,
good strain. It makes
Yeah.
fantastic hash, man. That's what's crazy about Grape Ape. Both water hash and the extract.
And also being in the industry, we get a lot of time just to mingle and socialize with all the breeders. So like Grape Ape, that's from Brett Apothecary Seeds.
Okay.
And he's got a few good selections as well. He's also got the Kaya Kush, and he's also got a few good Kushes.
Nice.
And he claims to have had the real Girl Scout as well at one time. But we like to we consider ourselves almost like Switzerland. We're pretty much neutral. We don't have any beef with any other people. We're not really in competition with people. But so we generally are pretty friendly with all the other breeders, and so we're lucky enough to have access to things.
Yeah.
Like say for example, last night we had a great dinner, and
Wonderful dinner.
we had people like DNA Genetics. We had Scott and Pam from Rare Dankness.
Yeah, I really wanted to.
Yeah.
Man, I would have killed to be at that dinner, man.
Yeah, man.
Dredd was at that dinner. that
Yeah,
bastard.
Dreddy was there. Dredd smokes weed. Also Blimburn, and also from Europe, we had my friends from Karma Genetics.
Where'd you guys go eat?
Rodizio.
Rodizio.
Yeah, the
Oh,
Brazilian.
grill.
Start and stop, bro. So and tuck into that meat.
I like it. I like it.
And
That
we
was
also
that.
had,
There was
like-
a High Times crew was there. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, High Times crew was there as well, and then also we had Hortilab, who's a Cannabis Cup winner, what I consider the new bloods of the game, and we've had a couple of new bloods in there, and it's exciting. It's exciting that we can all get together,
Yeah.
and enjoy, and then also enjoy life, and enjoy this weekend we're gonna have here in Denver. It's going to be big. It's going to be big.
I was
here.
just coming down the street on the way here, and I saw your booth getting set up on the way here.
Yeah.
It seemed like a large-sized booth over there.
We've,
the tent is taller than any other tent.
Yeah,
over
we
there.
had a booth made up a few years back, and I'll tell you an interesting story about this. The booth is made from 100% recycled paper,
Oh, wow.
toughened paper, but the guy who put me onto it was Woody Harrelson.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, he's a good friend of mine, and
Woody Harrelson.
yeah, Woody's a real good friend of mine.
Woody
yeah.
loves hemp. Always.
I'm gonna have to. We'll have to holler at you and get Woody on here because I'm a big fan of him too.
Yeah, I texted him last week actually. And,
Nice.
It's always good, and I've spent like a few weeks staying at his house in Maui.
Oh,
And
sweet.
every time he comes to London or into Amsterdam, we go check him out.
Cool.
And just hang out with him.
I'm a big fan of Woody Harrelson. He's a fantastic
Yeah,
actor. And
he's one of the guys, man. He's
cool.
Yeah, man.
Mad toker.
And last time I was in Maui 2 years ago. He invited me over to stay at his place, and then in the night times we'd go over to see Willie Nelson.
Oh, yeah,
at his
nice.
crib, and he'd end up just playing like either drafts or chess, and then afterwards the poker. And those guys just cleaned me out dry. I ended up out there with no money left.
That's
a good party.
So I got
wanna be
taken
at that
out.
party.
Yeah, I got taken out by Woody and Willie.
I want to be at that party, dude. Just think about that. That's got to be a hell of a poker
Yeah,
table
it's-
right there, dude.
And the main thing is it was cannabis, which brought me to meet Woody, and it was like having a strain and being in this business, which gave me the opportunity to see a lot of things, and you know what, I'm always grateful for it. And probably about 3 years ago, when we was doing really well in Amsterdam, I decided obviously to take a little bit more of a back seat and I've got a partner now who runs the business in England and things, so it gave me time to like sort of semi-retire, and I semi-retired about 3 years ago, living in Ibiza. And then you know what, you're never tired. You're never tired of the movement. You always want to continue, and
Sometimes you get frustrated. But
yeah, man. But you want to push. You always want to continually push the message, because it's a beautiful thing. Seeing all these people here, beautiful thing, man.
I mean, it's ridiculous how many people are already here right now, man. It's 12:50 here, and there's already twice as many people as there were on Monday and Tuesday.
And then also the next few days as well, it's just going to be a
zoo.
A swarm of people.
Well, last year it was already gigantic in front of the 420 stage, the City Hall. Huh?
What's that?
Last year was already more
Oh,
than
yeah.
50,000 people. We're aiming for 75,000.
There's going to be.
I heard 140 is what we heard yesterday.
Miguel's
I think they quoted how many people were coming into town. I don't know how many people are exactly
My
going to
bad.
be at the 420 rally downtown, but it's going to be huge. I mean, everything is going to be huge here. The Cup, this event here tonight.
The joint Jackie gave me that I'm gonna go smoke after.
Also,
the show.
but, that's what I'm saying.
I hope they're gonna
The
clear the
people
snow
here
out
are
of Red
pushing
Rocks.
it.
Go ahead.
So also it's going to push the people more. The more people that they see out here, it's just going to spur things on. So yeah, great things to come. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, that's what's cool is it's going to spread from here in Colorado to other places.
There's actually people coming that normally would go to Amsterdam to celebrate 420. They're here now.
Yeah, exactly. Amsterdam, I think they're having one of their first 420 massive celebrations.
Very small event, yeah.
Well, yeah, massive by the means of like they're actually.
And then another one in June, Cannabis Liberation Day, which is the bigger event.
Yeah. They didn't usually celebrate. They celebrated 420 in Amsterdam, but it just wasn't as big of a holiday. They're trying to make it a bigger holiday, from what I understand.
Well, it's a protest. Here it's a celebration. There it's really become a protest.
Yeah, I mean that's why it's important to keep the celebration and protest going on here, so that it spreads to other places. You know, we don't want to stop our support of cannabis reform here in Colorado. I mean, we still got federal. There's other states that we need to get to. I mean, it's not over. Everybody, there's talk around in places here. Like, why is there still going to be a 420 rally? Like, well, because it's still needed.
Let's hope there always is.
Be aware, because the fight's not fought.
Someday it'll be all celebration and.
And in Amsterdam, it's literally we have our heels dig into the sand, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, more than half of our coffee shops have closed down. They're making a law. They've already passed a law to outlaw grow shops.
Yeah,
grow shops that sell garden.
That's what's funny is like you weren't supposed to have a grow in Amsterdam and Netherlands, and then shops were supposed to be growing. But how did they get the green? That was always like the behind the scenes,
it's
behind
insanity.
the curtain. Yeah,
there's no logic behind it. We have an insane Minister of Justice, and he's just on this crusade against cannabis.
Yeah,
I can't name it any other way, And it's really, really, really sad.
Hopefully things...
Like Adam said in November at the Amsterdam High Times Cup, he said the magic is gone out of Amsterdam.
Really?
And what was left of it, I've brought it here.
I'm sad that I didn't
Can't you feel it here? I can feel it here. I can feel a little bit of Amsterdam here.
For sure. I'm sad that I didn't get to go to Amsterdam and visit Amsterdam before all this started up here in Colorado. I mean, it's great that it's happening here in Colorado, but I am kind of bummed that I didn't get to go over to Amsterdam and see that situation.
Well, you still can. I mean, they've had a very effective media
campaign. But I mean, at the time where it was, at the peak of the Cannabis Cup there, at the peak of Cannabis Cup reform and before everything got big here, I would have liked to have seen that.
But you can still come to Amsterdam. It's only the border areas that are struggling with a discriminatory law they brought in, no foreigners.
And that's not the only reason why I wanted to go to Amsterdam, was just because of cannabis, I mean, that's the unfortunate thing about
here.
It's something about cannabis, cannabis pulled me into, the culture of Amsterdam and seeing, exactly what else was there to view besides just it, viewing, going to different countries around it. That's an important part. That's what's going to happen here in Colorado. People from all over the world. Here. People from all over the world are going to come here and bring our culture back, and people are going to be like, oh, you need to go to Colorado. And
the social consumption on site, like the coffee shop model, is a beautiful model. And a couple of years ago, it was happening at places like the Healing House, had it going on. Then they bypassed the law, no consumption on site here, which effectively stopped it for a while. But there ain't no stopping it now.
No.
But I've got to say, as all the years, as doing Ganya tours in Amsterdam too.
Are you done? It's very awesome talking. How can people how can people get Big Buddha seeds? And it'd be awesome to talk to you about a sponsorship, and maybe if we can help you get your name out and the word out here to Colorado and California and other places, Washington.
We're going to be here at the High Times Cup, so hopefully, if there's anyone out there, come visit us at the High Times this weekend at the Expo. If not, obviously you can always check us out on YouTube. Just type in Big Buddha Cheese.
Big Buddha Cheese.
And also, if not that, just go onto our website, www.bigbuddhaseeds.com.
Thank you very much, man. It was a pleasure to be able to talk with you, and I'm sure we'll be hanging. We'll smoke a doobie here soon.
Definitely. Good luck, Denver. Big peace and love, guys.
Thanks, buddy.
Thank you, man.
Love, guys. Okay, take care.
Fantastic times, Big Buddha Seeds.
Coincidentally, Big Buddha Cheese is still one of the better strains on the menu at the Katsu coffee shop.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, it is.
The coffee shop is
one of the more famous. Because the owners, they're smokers themselves, so they take pride in the products. A lot of coffee shop owners, they don't even care. They even would call their merchandise rubbish. Let's sell a couple of kilos of rubbish. Let's push a couple of
rubbish.
Because they're all alcohol consumers. It's their main preferred drug of choice.
Is alcohol?
Yeah.
Wow.
And because the alcohol producers have taken over in the Netherlands and the councillors are in their pocket.
Really?
And
so alcohol has become a bigger thing
just like
there.
here.
Well, it's
lobbying.
They know the records, the statistics. That stoners they drink a lot less. They don't want that. They
No, I
want
agree.
people to
I
keep
agree
being
100%.
drinking and killing their brain cells, you know. But the coffee shop model I found during the Kenya tours. I did the tours with people from very diverse countries all over the world, not only Americans, Canadians, and British people, but people from Iran, people from the Emirates. They go on a crazy Kenya tour with a woman like me. So I've always said the coffee shops, it makes people have a dialogue that otherwise wouldn't talk together.
Yeah.
And isn't that very important in these days?
It is, and that's something.
And that's what cannabis does.
And that's what we mentioned about cannabis. You know, I mean, it's like you could have.
They don't want it. They don't want people to be social together.
Adam was telling me a story again last night about, you know, there was I won't tell the exact story word for word because I don't know if it's off the record or not. But there's like 3 pretty famous people, you know, years ago that got together in Amsterdam or were coming together for the same event in Amsterdam, ended up in the same place, and cannabis ended up, you know, mending relationships, you know, allowed them to be able to sit down and talk. You know, it's like you go to pass someone a joint. I mean, that's sort of like a handshake, you know. I mean, it's a huge gesture in our community, you know, sort of like sit down and toke with someone or sit down and share a joint. I mean, it's a spiritual thing, and it's cool that we have that.
Adam really understands because he came to the Netherlands way early in the 1990s.
Yeah.
Learned his trades at Sensi.
Yeah, that's what's crazy.
He's been around for a long, long time. All these other people.
His stories are nuts.
Are after 2003. Even the DNA guys, they came to Amsterdam after 2003, and then they released their first flyer. And I, as an Amsterdammer, I had to read that they came to Amsterdam because before 2003 nobody was growing any good cannabis in Amsterdam or the Netherlands. That's how presumptuous they were.
That's what I've heard is the cannabis wasn't that great, and the
It's
hash
not
has always
true.
been awesome.
The cannabis was greater in the 80s and 90s than
Really?
it is currently.
Yeah.
And with like a small population that the cannabis users predominantly smoke with tobacco, and with the repression, what the fuck do they know? Huh? What do they know?
What the fuck do they know?
It's a very effective spiel they played, huh?
Yeah.
And when I come back next week, when all this craziness has come down, I will tell you the whole conspiracy story, which probably Adam touched upon last night. If I tell you the full story about what really happened from 1985 in the Netherlands with cannabis,
We would love
your
to
ears are going to fucking fall off.
We would love to sit down and talk with you about
I'm
about
older.
anything
I'm
in the history.
48. I watch all these guys. It's just like I saw Big Buddha arrive on the scene, and now we have this new guy, Scott. But he's so new.
I know. Yeah, Scott's been a good friend of ours here. I've seen Scott's company grow since he started. It's like a 5-year-old
It's wonderful,
company.
but they can't have the knowledge. Breeders like me.
But that's why
I'm one of the
get
few
to sit down.
female breeders, huh?
That's
but I'm not commercial.
And that's what's awesome is that we do need that. We need people like you to bring people into this. And then Scott, like sitting down, you know, with some of the older breeders and just passing on information. And
But
you guys teaching them.
they talk history and they don't go back further than 2004. Now I've got a library, a live garden in Amsterdam, and I've brought part of that here to and see it. I've got plants from the Eddie Lab garden pre-DEA raid.
Yeah.
The goo, the pez, that spreads apothecary. I've got all of those alive.
You know what else she has, Tim? She's one I told you has the dildo haze.
A dildo haze?
Yes.
Dildo haze. The dildo haze is very infamous in Amsterdam, and it started as a joke. My helper Clipper, I've always been a sativa specialist, so I've got the Hindukush haze. I've crossed her with the Waldo haze. Waldo haze is another very famous apothecary Eddie Lab plant, and I've crossed them. So they're on a whole different league than the Neville haze G13 spoofs of. But they form these long, elongated colas. So she was remarking on it. So it just, instead of starting using like Hindukush haze crossed with Waldo, we start calling her the dildo.
It's just easier.
And of course, none of these guys caught on to it. So it started spreading, and it spread online. And these people started going around certain coffee shops in Amsterdam, like the Grey Area, asking for it. And of course, nobody knew what the fuck it was.
You got the dildo?
They did. They just didn't know it.
Fucking hilarious. You can understand that those owners, they're affiliated with DNA and they're all Americans. And this is another thing I've got to say. It's very sad that what came to be, that attracted all these Americans to come and do business in my city, that they never nurtured activism. They all made their money, so they're like vultures feeding off a faded reputation. It's a faded reputation that's gone, and people like me never received a euro from those fuckers. Yeah. And that's unkosher kush.
That's what we're trying.
Okay?
That's what we're trying to
Well,
prevent
me,
here in
I'm
Colorado
speaking
with
truth.
vertical integration and everything else. We want to make sure that everybody gets their fair share. That's going to do it for today's show here on John Doe Radio. It was very, very awesome.
Jackie, are you speaking at the rally?
Sorry.
Are you speaking at the
No,
rally?
you're fine. I love it when somebody gets fired up here. We're going to have you on more. And you're speaking on the rally on Friday. Tomorrow.
I should be, but Miguel's rather tied up with various medias that don't want pot smokers on the grass.
Keep
and
off
I'm
the
just
grass.
totally fucking fed up being called a pot smoker, huh?
Pothead,
Pothead, that's what they say.
pothead.
So I'm just going to consistently talk about alcohol heads and beer heads
There you
now.
go. Have fun.
Okay?
Alcoholics.
Fuck those fuckers, because they're not complaining about Cinco de Mayo or
Right.
a breast cancer thing or Denver restaurant
Great
week.
beer festival. Great
How
American beer
many
festival.
years have we been out there and behaved?
Yeah, we've done
The,
great.
the cleaning up service Miguel puts on.
He should maybe pay
Every
for.
little joint stop is picked up.
I mean, they got insurance.
But we
the city's-
behave
he's ma-
impeccably.
We've met the city's requirements.
Yes, we're
So
really
that's what's-
polite, well-behaved, good people.
Exactly.
Not potheads. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well-behaved citizens
Yes.
and visitors.
Tax-paying.
Taxpayers.
Exactly. Voters.
All that. Well, have yourselves a fantastic time
Thanks for
today.
hanging out with
Enjoy
us.
your 420 weekend. If you're listening to the show after 420, we'll be hanging out over at the Cannabis Cup tomorrow. Make sure you check out iCannabisRadio.com. Pay attention to the John Doe Radio Show's Facebook page, Twitter, Bike's Facebook page, my Facebook page.
We'll be all over.
We'll announce the times that we'll be broadcasting, and all those videos and stuff will be up on the iCannabisRadio.com website. Enjoy your day. Have a fantastic time. It is 420 weekend.
See you tomorrow.
The all amazing, all hollowed 420 weekend. I'm your host, John Doe. Until we meet again tomorrow. All right, I'm making sure I got everything lined up here. Until we meet again tomorrow, I'm going to go smoke and enjoy Cannaval and check out Raekwon tonight. See ya!
You're now listening to Illit Beats.
The John Doe Radio Show is produced by Charlie Stash Entertainment. The John Doe Radio Show programming is not limited by information on agriculture subjects and is informational and entertainment purposes only. We specifically include responsible marijuana reform.
Listening to anyone but your mother is just plain stupid.
We accept no responsibility for your actions or misrepresentations, and we do not fully endorse the use of illegal drugs. You are ultimately responsible for yourself.
My